Welcome to Better Inside Daily. Get ready to discover the surprising foods that could be quietly ruining your gut health. Let's dive in and take control of your well-being together. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that affects every single one of us, every single day, our gut health. We're going to be your personal health detectives because today, we're uncovering 7 surprising foods that could be quietly ruining your gut health. You might be eating some of these every day, thinking they're harmless, or even healthy. But what if I told you they could be the secret culprits behind your bloating, discomfort, or even more serious long-term health issues? It's a fascinating and crucial area of our overall well-being. Your gut is so much more than just a digestive tube. It's a complex ecosystem, a second brain that influences everything from your mood and immune system to your risk of chronic diseases. A healthy gut microbiome is teeming with trillions of beneficial bacteria that work tirelessly to keep you healthy. But when that delicate balance is thrown off, the consequences can ripple throughout your entire body. We often focus on what to eat, but sometimes knowing what to avoid is even more powerful. That's why this conversation is so important. So stick with me through this entire video. We're going to break down each of these 7 food categories, look at the science behind why they can be problematic, and I promise, by the end, you'll have actionable knowledge to make smarter choices for your gut. Alright, let's kick things off with our first culprit. And it's a sneaky one because it often hides under the guise of being a healthy alternative artificial sweeteners. I'm talking about things like aspartame, sucralose, and saccharin. You find them everywhere, in diet sodas, sugar-free yogurts, protein bars, and those little packets you might be tempted to put in your coffee. The marketing is brilliant. They promise all the sweetness with none of the calories. It sounds like a perfect deal, right? Unfortunately for your gut, it's anything but. The core of the problem lies in how our bodies, specifically our gut microbiomes, react to these synthetic compounds. Unlike natural sugar, our bodies don't really know how to metabolize these artificial sweeteners effectively. They pass through our upper digestive tract largely undigested and arrive in the colon, where the vast majority of our gut bacteria reside. There, they begin to interact with this delicate ecosystem, and the results, as studies are increasingly showing, are not good. Think of your gut microbiome as a diverse garden. You want a wide variety of good plants or bacteria to thrive. Research, including studies published in prestigious journals like Nature, has shown that non-caloric artificial sweeteners can alter the composition and function of the gut microbiota. They can decrease the populations of beneficial bacteria, like bifidobacterium and lactobacillus, which are crucial for digesting fiber, producing essential vitamins, and maintaining a strong gut barrier. So, what's the alternative? If you're looking to reduce sugar, consider small amounts of natural sweeteners like stevia, in its pure form, monk fruit, or even a little bit of honey or maple syrup. But more importantly, try to retrain your palate to appreciate less sweetness overall. Opting for water instead of diet soda or plain yogurt instead of the artificially sweetened kind is a huge step. Next up on our list is a category that probably won't surprise you, but the reasons why it's so bad for your gut might. I'm talking about fried foods. That crispy golden brown goodness can be incredibly tempting. We often associate them with cheat days, but regular consumption can be a full-on assault on your digestive system, turning your gut into a hostile environment for the good bacteria you so desperately need. The first issue is the fat itself. Foods fried in industrial seed oils like canola, soybean, or corn oil are incredibly high in omega-6 fatty acids. While we need some omega-6s, the typical Western diet provides them in vast excess compared to anti-inflammatory omega-3s. This imbalance is highly pro-inflammatory. When you eat these foods, you're essentially fueling inflammation not just throughout your body, but specifically within your gut lining, making it a less hospitable place for beneficial microbes. Furthermore, the process of deep frying at high temperatures fundamentally changes the chemical structure of the food. It creates compounds that are very difficult for our digestive system to break down. Your stomach and intestines have to work overtime to process these heavy, greasy foods. This slow transit time means the food sits in your gut for longer, where it can ferment in ways that aren't beneficial, leading to classic symptoms like bloating, indigestion, and that heavy, sluggish feeling we all know too well. Think about it. A diet rich in fried foods starves the good bacteria of what they truly crave, fiber. Instead, you're feeding the bad guys. Studies have shown that high-fat diets, especially those rich in the types of fats used for frying, can decrease microbial diversity. They tend to favor the growth of bacteria like Bilophila wadsworthia, which thrives in a high-fat environment and has been linked to inflammatory bowel disease. There's also the issue of advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These are harmful compounds formed when fats and proteins are cooked at high temperatures, like in frying. When you consume fried foods, you're delivering a payload of these damaging compounds directly to your gut, where they can damage the intestinal lining. This damage can lead to increased intestinal permeability, or what's commonly known as leaky gut. A leaky gut is exactly what it sounds like. The tight junctions between the cells of your intestinal wall loosen, allowing undigested food particles, toxins, and bacteria to leak into your bloodstream where they don't belong. So, what can you do? It's not about never enjoying a treat again, but about shifting the balance. Instead of deep frying, try alternative cooking methods like baking, roasting, air frying, or steaming. These use much less oil and lower temperatures, reducing the formation of harmful compounds. An air fryer can give you a similar crispy texture without submerging your food in a vat of inflammatory oil. Before you go, don't miss our free 7 days gut reset blueprint. Click the link below to jumpstart your gut health journey and feel your best. Download it now and take the first step toward a healthier you. Let's move on to our third category, one that's a staple in many people's sandwiches and breakfast plates: processed meats. This includes things like bacon, sausages, hot dogs, deli meats like salami and bologna, and jerky. They're convenient, they're flavorful, and they're incredibly common. But what makes them so convenient and gives them such a long shelf life is also what makes them a potential danger to the delicate ecosystem living inside you. The primary villains here are the preservatives used to cure the meat and prevent spoilage, specifically nitrates and nitrites. When you consume these compounds, they can lead to the formation of N-nitroso compounds, or NOx, in the gut. These NOx are widely recognized as being carcinogenic, which is why the World Health Organization has classified processed meat as a Group 1 carcinogen, the same category as tobacco and asbestos. The preservatives that are so effective at killing the bacteria that would spoil meat on a shelf can also have an indiscriminate effect on the bacteria inside your gut. They can disrupt the balance of your gut flora, reducing the populations of beneficial microbes and creating an environment where less helpful or even harmful bacteria can take over. It's like setting off a small chemical bomb in your internal garden. Beyond the preservatives, processed meats are also often very high in saturated fat and sodium. The high sodium content can also be problematic. Some research suggests that high-salt diets can deplete certain strains of beneficial bacteria like lactobacillus, and may contribute to inflammation and even autoimmune responses by affecting certain immune cells that originate in the gut. Think about the quality of the meat itself. Processed meats are rarely made from high-quality lean cuts. They often use leftover trimmings and fatty tissues, which are then heavily processed, ground up, and mixed with a cocktail of additives, flavorings, and fillers. The solution here is to be mindful and prioritize fresh, unprocessed meats. If you enjoy meat, opt for fresh chicken breast, fish, lean cuts of beef or turkey that you cook yourself. When you buy a simple chicken breast, the only ingredient is chicken. When you buy deli turkey, check the label. You'll find a long list of other things. Reading labels is key. If you found these tips helpful, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more gut health advice and wellness tips every week. Our fourth food group is a bit more controversial because, well, for some people, it's perfectly fine, but for a huge portion of the population, it can be a major gut disruptor. We're talking about dairy products: milk, cheese, yogurt, and ice cream. For centuries, dairy has been promoted as a cornerstone of a healthy diet, rich in calcium and protein. The most well-known issue is lactose intolerance. Lactose is the sugar found in milk. To digest it, our bodies need an enzyme called lactase. As infants, we produce plenty of it, but for about 65% of the world's adult population, lactase production significantly decreases after weaning. When these individuals consume dairy, the undigested lactose travels to the colon, where it becomes food for gas-producing bacteria, leading to bloating, cramps, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. Even if you're not technically lactose intolerant, you might have a sensitivity to other components in dairy, like the proteins casein and whey. The A1 beta-casein protein found in most conventional cow's milk in North America and Europe can break down in the gut to form a peptide called beta-casomorphin 7, or BCM7. This peptide has been linked to gut inflammation and can slow down intestinal transit time, causing constipation. It's also worth considering the quality of the dairy you consume. Conventional dairy often comes from cows raised in concentrated animal feeding operations, or CAFOs, where they may be treated with hormones to increase milk production and antibiotics to prevent infections. Traces of these compounds can end up in the milk you drink. Antibiotics, even in small amounts, can have a devastating effect on your gut bacteria, wiping out both good and bad microbes indiscriminately. Now, it's important to state that this is highly individual. Some people, particularly those of Northern European descent, tolerate dairy just fine. Fermented dairy products like kefir and plain yogurt can actually be beneficial for the gut, as they contain probiotics. If you find that you feel better without dairy, there are now more amazing alternatives than ever before. Unsweetened almond milk, coconut milk, oat milk, and cashew milk are all great options for your coffee or cereal. Coming in at number 5 is a category of foods that forms the base of many diets around the world: refined grains. I'm talking about white bread, white pasta, white rice, pastries, crackers, and most breakfast cereals. These foods have been stripped of their most nutritious parts, the bran and the germ, during the milling process, leaving behind only the starchy endosperm. While this gives them a softer texture and a longer shelf life, it robs them of the one thing your gut bacteria crave most: fiber. Fiber is the primary food source for the beneficial microbes in your colon. When you eat fiber-rich whole grains, that fiber passes through your system undigested until it reaches the large intestine. There, your gut bacteria ferment it and in the process produce incredibly beneficial compounds called short-chain fatty acids, or SCFAs, like butyrate, propionate, and acetate. These SCFAs are the superstars of gut health. Butyrate, for example, is the main energy source for the cells that line your colon, helping to keep the gut barrier strong and healthy. When you eat a diet high in refined grains, you are essentially starving these beneficial bacteria. You're not giving them the raw materials they need to produce these life-sustaining SCFAs. A diet lacking in fiber can lead to a significant shift in the gut microbiome. The diversity of your gut bacteria plummets because the fiber-loving species have nothing to eat and begin to die off. This creates a vacuum that can be filled by less desirable microbes, some of which may be pro-inflammatory. Moreover, because refined grains are stripped of their fiber and nutrients, they are digested very quickly. They behave a lot like simple sugar in your body, causing a rapid spike in blood sugar and insulin levels. This roller coaster of blood sugar can contribute to systemic inflammation and metabolic dysfunction. It also means you don't feel full for very long, which can lead to overeating and weight gain, further stressing your system. Think of the difference between a slice of fluffy white bread and a slice of dense, hearty, whole-grain bread. The white bread breaks down almost instantly, offering little sustenance to your microbiome. The whole-grain bread, packed with fiber, provides a slow-release source of energy for you and a feast for your gut bacteria. The good news is that this is one of the easiest swaps to make for your gut health. The solution is simple: choose whole grains. Look for 100% whole wheat or 100% whole grain on the label of your bread and pasta. Alright, let's tackle our sixth gut disruptor, and it's one that many people consume daily without a second thought: carbonated drinks. This includes everything from sugary sodas and diet sodas to sparkling water and seltzers. While that bubbly, fizzy sensation can be refreshing, the carbonation itself, along with the other ingredients often found in these drinks, can irritate your gut and lead to uncomfortable symptoms. The fizziness in these drinks comes from dissolved carbon dioxide gas. When you swallow that liquid, the gas is released in your digestive system. For some people, this is no big deal. But for many, especially those with sensitive guts or conditions like irritable bowel syndrome, this excess gas can be a major trigger for bloating, distension, and uncomfortable pressure. It's literally pumping extra gas into a system that may already be struggling to manage its own gas production. Beyond the gas itself, let's look at what else is in these drinks. Regular sodas are a notorious source of high fructose corn syrup or sugar. A single can of cola can contain nearly 40 grams of sugar, which is an enormous load for your system to handle. This sugar feeds the unhealthy, pro-inflammatory bacteria and yeast like Candida in your gut, contributing to dysbiosis. It provides zero nutritional value and actively harms the balance of your microbiome. Then we have the diet sodas. As we discussed in our first chapter, these are packed with artificial sweeteners like aspartame or sucralose, which we now know can negatively alter the composition of our gut flora. Many of these beverages, both regular and diet, also contain acids like phosphoric acid and citric acid to give them their tangy flavor and act as a preservative. These acids can be harsh on the digestive system. They can potentially irritate the lining of the stomach and the esophagus, which can be particularly problematic for individuals prone to acid reflux or gastritis. Chronic irritation can lead to inflammation, weakening the protective mucosal layer of the gut. So, what's a better way to hydrate? The answer is simple and probably obvious: water. Water is the absolute best thing you can drink for your overall health and your gut. It helps with digestion, nutrient absorption, and keeps things moving smoothly. If you find plain water boring, try infusing it with natural flavors. Add slices of lemon, lime, cucumber, or mint. Brew some unsweetened herbal tea like peppermint or ginger tea, which can actually be soothing for the gut. Before you go, don't miss our free 7 days gut reset blueprint. Click the link below to jumpstart your gut health journey and feel your best. Download it now and take the first step toward a healthier you. We've arrived at our seventh and final food, or in this case, beverage, that can secretly destroy your gut: alcohol. Many of us enjoy a glass of wine with dinner or a beer with friends, and in moderation, that can be part of a balanced lifestyle. However, it's crucial to understand that alcohol, especially when consumed in excess, acts as a direct toxin to our digestive system and can inflict significant damage on our gut health from top to bottom. When you drink alcohol, it comes into direct contact with the lining of your gastrointestinal tract. It can irritate and inflame the stomach lining, leading to gastritis. More importantly, it can damage the cells of your small and large intestines. Alcohol can decrease the production of digestive enzymes from the pancreas, which impairs your body's ability to properly break down and absorb nutrients. This means even if you're eating a healthy diet, you might not be getting the full benefit if you're drinking too much. One of the most well-documented effects of excessive alcohol consumption is its contribution to leaky gut. Alcohol directly damages the tight junctions, the protein seals between the cells of your intestinal wall. It essentially pokes holes in that critical barrier. This increased permeability allows bacterial toxins, called endotoxins, specifically lipopolysaccharide or LPS, to pass from your gut into your bloodstream. This is a major red flag for your immune system. When these endotoxins enter the circulation, they trigger a powerful inflammatory response throughout the body. This systemic inflammation is linked to a vast array of health problems, including liver disease. In fact, alcohol-induced leaky gut is considered a key mechanism in the development of alcoholic liver disease. Alcohol consumption also has a profound and rapid effect on the composition of your gut microbiome. It can decrease the numbers of beneficial bacteria and allow for an overgrowth of pathogenic or harmful bacteria. This state of dysbiosis further weakens the gut barrier and fuels more inflammation. Essentially, alcohol both directly damages the gut wall and creates a microbial environment that perpetuates that damage. The type of alcohol can matter to some extent. For example, red wine contains polyphenols like resveratrol, which in small amounts can actually have some prebiotic-like effects. So, the key takeaway with alcohol is all about quantity and frequency. If you choose to drink, do so in moderation. The guidelines generally define this as up to 1 drink per day for women and up to 2 drinks per day for men. It's also wise to have alcohol-free days during the week to give your gut and liver time to rest and repair. And always be sure to hydrate with plenty of water when you are drinking to help mitigate some of the negative effects. So there you have it, 7 of the most common and often surprising foods and drinks that could be secretly sabotaging your gut health. From the artificial sweeteners in your diet drink, to the preservatives in your lunch meat, these hidden culprits can cause inflammation, disrupt your microbiome, and contribute to that feeling of just not being your best. The goal here isn't to make you afraid of food, but to empower you with knowledge. Being mindful of how often you consume these items, and making conscious swaps can make a world of difference in how you feel every single day. Your gut health journey is a personal one, and it starts with small, consistent choices. I want to hear from you now. Have any of these foods been a problem for you? Have you noticed a difference since cutting them out? Or do you have any questions about what we discussed today? Drop a comment down below. We love reading them, and it helps create a community where we can all learn from each other. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our future content. Thank you so much for investing this time in your health and for watching today. Remember, taking care of your gut is one of the most powerful things you can do for your overall well-being. It's the foundation of everything. Stay curious, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.